What's up, everybody? It's Roger and James here from the DisKingdom Podcast. In this episode, I'm going to put the question to you of, do you think Disney Springs has kind of lost its magic? Maybe not even in terms of Disney Springs, but compared to maybe like downtown Disney and stuff. Because on my recent trip there, I thought it was a lovely place. I thought it was great place to go and hang out. Lots of shops, lots of restaurants, lots of places to eat, lots of things to do. I had a really lovely few nights down there over my vacation. But I've seen on lots of comments, and I also can see myself of the thing of, it's not very Disney. It's the kind of the Disneyness of the, I mean, I'll be honest, I'd swap the Disney Village in Paris for Disney Springs in a hot second that could go because it's tiny there. But it doesn't feel very Disney anymore. It's kind of lost. It's becoming just a shopping mall.
Yeah, so I'm going to bring two perspectives to this. I actually had a friend who was down in Disney a couple of weeks ago now, and they went down to Disney Springs. It had been their first time going in probably 6 or 7 years, and their comment was they didn't really feel that it was all that Disney anymore. They didn't actually enjoy going very much. It was a good place to get food. I'm quoting them. It was a good place for them to get food. It was a good place to kind of do something else for a while, but it was not a Disney experience. And she had no idea that we were recording this episode, so it was just kind of a mind thing, whatever. Personally, last time I was there was, I want to say April this year when I went down for the Dark Side run. There is a small section of it. So if you think of Disney Springs as like, I don't know, kind of like a peninsula or an island kind of formation, if you go up into like the parking structure area, you've got the World of Disney, you've got Goofy's Treat Shop, you've got the Pin Traders, you've got a couple other, I think the Christmas ornament store is up there. If you stay in that area, it's kind of commercial Disney. The Lego store is there too.
Yeah, it's kind of what I would, because that was still downtown Disney. I think that's the thing. That was, so I know where you're going from, because I'd probably actually say the same, because that was still the same as it's been for the last 5 years of all my different trips. But also, there is a very clear view of Disney stores and Disney products there. So I get what you mean.
It's very Disney. And then they have the little dance area where the kids and the younger audience members will go in, and the bands will play every once in a while. And they've got that. And then there is a very, very quick divide. Right once you get past the World of Disney store, you immediately get to an outdoor shopping mall. They've got a Uniqlo, a Japanese clothing store. They've got I think like a Harley Davidson clothing store. I'm just doing this from memory, so I'm probably missing several. There's, of course, plenty of eating places, but none of them are like Disney eating places. They're just, I think there's a poutine shop over there, which is like, okay, sure, poutine in Florida. That makes sense. But, and then various other, usual delis and stuff like that. And then the farther away you get from World of Disney, the less Disney it becomes. You kind of get a couple, like you've got the Star Wars shop and you've got the superhero shop, but other than those, it's all food and just Florida touristy stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of that thing as well, because again, that goes back to being the old downtown Disney, where you've got the Star Wars and the Marvel shop, and then you've got like the Disney. There's that great look. There is that great Disney shop on the corner. And it's full of like trendy stuff with lots of big things hanging inside and the little teacups. And it literally opened while I was there earlier this year, and I thought that was one of the best like little Disney shops there now, because it was embracing the Disneyness and offering stuff that nowhere else in the area. And it does seem like they've got this massive area in the middle, which they've just is it the Grove, or they've recreated, and there are some great shops there, and lots of great places to eat. And we ate at the Boathouse. We ate at the crab place.
Yeah, it's not anymore.
In the paddle boat, in the big paddle boat, we ate in there. And I ate in Wolf. Was it in the Married Moto? I ate in there, and a few other places. And yeah, the food, I'll be honest, I think I ate better last time, because there was so much choice there, and you could go there for probably every single night of the week and have a different meal, and you would have a really good meal. But that whole middle section, it's it completely is void. I know it's almost that kind of thing, and they're probably looking at them. They don't want to overdo the Disney side of things because they want to encourage people to go and chill out there, and they don't want adults to feel like they're just in a big Disney shopping complex. But maybe they need to spread out move some of the stores around a little bit. Spread out. I don't know. It was that kind of thing of like, it was great and I really enjoyed it, but I can also see where it's like it has become. It's like going to the Vineland outlets where this could be anywhere kind of thing.
Yeah, and I kind of get that too. The Disney part of it is very much sequestered to that small area. Also, by the way, I love that Italian shop that's right next to the steamboat, or the paddle boat. A lot of people kind of overlook it because it doesn't have much advertising. It's just kind of wedged right next to the paddle boat, but it's really good Italian food. But like you were saying, I don't actually think it's a bad thing that it's not Disneyfied, because you get the feel of a more classic restaurant. You've got the Italian place, you've got the paddle boat, you've got other options down there. Heck, you even got a Starbucks if that's what you want. Yeah. You've got the Planet Hollywood. I think that finally reopened.
Yeah, yes.
But then in addition to that, you've got all of the bars, the nightclub kind of scene. If you are older than 21 and you want to be, and you got dragged to Disney and you're too cool for Disney or whatever, yeah. we all were when we were younger. They've got those scenes. They've got you can go and dance and
House
have
of Blues is always packed at night.
House of Blues
for events and stuff.
Yeah, and you can do these adult entertainment makes it sound like something completely different. Yeah. These adult focused eateries and bars and stuff like that, which parents might need because they've been playing in Toonland all day and they are ready to not have to deal with little kids anymore. Maybe you're part of the younger group that got dragged there by an older group, so you can go there and have fun. And I think it's very important that Disney have those things. And it would be very weird to be like at a dance club or something like that, and there's Goofy right there. That would just, I don't think I would be able to take it seriously. And granted, I haven't been in a dance club in like 15 years or something like that, and even that, I barely remember it at all because I'm not really a dance club person. I never really have been, but anyway, it's important for Disney to have those, or Disney Springs to have those. Yes, it does mean that they're not Disneyfied. It's not, Mickey and Donald and Goofy and Lilo and Stitch and all this stuff. But Disney has finally come to realize adults kind of need that escape too. They don't want that 24/7 Donald Duck in your face all the time.
No, well, this is a big thing because it's like on our trip we had where literally one night all the kids got left behind with the grandparents, and a few of us went out, with our friends, and we went out and had, we dressed up and went down and had a proper meal at the boathouse, and we did a bit of shopping. We also went and did the Star Wars VR thing. So, we still got a little bit of sort of Disney magic in there. But yeah, it was a different kind of night out, and we had that kind of feeling of having a proper night out down there, and it was great, and it was a really nice night. But we've also been down there with the kids and going into the shops and all the rest of it. It to me, it's just this kind of weird thing of that they've got that weird zone down there, and it's obviously going to keep growing, and they're going to keep adding things. But they're adding more and more restaurants, more and more things down there. But a lot of them aren't being made by Disney. They're outsourcing to other franchises, to local companies, and the rest of it. And I'll be honest, the food has got so much better down there. Rather than having these massive, great big Disney chains they were putting this in bad food for high expense. There's a lot, and also there's so much competition down there now that they're all having to up their game, because if one place starts getting a bad reputation, they'll go somewhere else. There's enough choice down there to go somewhere else. So name recognition is not enough anymore to do it. As much as you got the Rainforest Cafe keep exploding up with the flames and stuff, and that always looks pretty cool. It's just that kind of thing of there's so much competition down there.
Even the Rainforest Cafe has competition down there. I think that I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the T-Rex something or other. They've got the dinosaur one, which is basically the exact same thing, but dinosaur themed instead of rainforest themed. It's literally the exact same restaurant, but now they've got competition. I hadn't even really thought about that though. The food angle is big. Again, going back to adults at the park, you're spending the entire day eating chicken fingers and whatever the parks have to offer, hot dogs and whatever you can get at like Pinocchio's Tavern or whatever. And sometimes you just need to go and be like, no, I need to have a proper grown-up meal.
As I would say, well, it was that thing of like, I want to eat with a metal knife and fork and on a plate. It was that kind of thing. It was like, I do want to just eat. I want to eat a meal. You want to sit there and it is. And I think there is that thing of, like you say, those things like Rainforest Cafe and T-Rex. They were very, I would almost say, like the 90s view of building themed restaurants where you make it big, loud, and over the top. Whereas now the style is very much more subtle. It's about having theming and having a theme and going through with it, but it's all much more low key. It's not about, I mean, you think of like that Indiana Jones bar that opened up. It's not, if that was built in the 1990s, you'd have Indiana Jones theme outside, you'd have flames flying off the top, and probably a replica of Indiana Jones. Whereas now it's all subtle little hints and stuff. There's that very different style of going on.
It's definitely there. Like you can go in there and you can recognize the Indiana Jones aesthetic to it. I've only been in there once because the menu's not really to my taste, but I wanted to check it out anyway. And it's Indiana Jones, but like you said, it's subtle. It's not in your face. You can just kind of recognize, oh, that's a reference to the plane from the beginning of the Temple of Doom, or that over there could be a reference to, the Last Crusade. And then there are a couple of little props here and there, but it's all tastefully done. If you don't want it to be an Indiana Jones bar, you can just tell yourself it's not. It's not like constantly. There's not all those banners that you see, like going into Soarin', which has all the aviation pictures, but they're all very clearly aimed towards getting you into the Soarin' experience. No, Indiana Jones, the bar is just like, if you want it to be an Indiana Jones bar, it's an Indiana Jones bar. If you just want it to be a bar, it's a bar. Have fun.
Yeah, it's the only thing that's like picking up on that one is they put that one in, and but then you think of it and go, that's the only one of all the new stuff that was actually Disney. Everything else is just something completely different, and just other chains of. It's like, you look at all these different hotels, all these different restaurants and stuff, and the shops. There's very few. Disney have put in a few things, but it just seems to me they've looked at it and go, we're making enough in our little areas, we're just going to rent out the space and make more money and just appeal to a different audience. It definitely brings you in. I mean, over 2 weeks, I know I went down there at least 4 or 5 times over 2 weeks. So, okay, one of them was just me running down there to watch Solo, but there was that kind of weird thing of like walking along that area near the cinema, and they were blasting out the Star Wars theme the whole time, and they had the Star Wars banners and stuff up, and it was like that kind of thing of like, oh, we're in the Star Wars-y bit. Because, again, my wife just turned to me and goes, oh, bloody hell. It was like more Star Wars stuff. The kind of thing of, it was just that weird thing of, it's missing. There were some things that they need to know. We've got like the Wreck-It Ralph VR thing coming in later this year. That'll kind of help boost up that thing. But they keep adding they're always announcing new restaurants and stuff there. But they're definitely going for a different vibe. So as far as I'm saying they've lost the magic, I think if you're looking for the Disney princess and sparkles and the characters and all the rest of it, no, or yes, it has. It hasn't got that factor as much as it used to. But I'll be honest, I think it's got a different kind of magic of it's appealing to, we are probably the adults is who they are aiming at to get in there, and it felt nice. It felt nice. It feels nice to walk around down there. It feels safe. It feels open. It feels big. You feel like you've got choice. There's lots of shopping. It is much more, I think, of an adult's place to go and hang out. And I think that's exactly what they wanted. So as regards to having it, I think it's found a different magic, but it's just made it very nice. I feel very nice.
So I've got two final thoughts on it. One kind of building on that last little bit there, which is I think it's the escape from the escapism. That's kind of what popped into my head when you were talking about it. Being in Disney is fantastic. We all love being in Disney. We love being at the parks and being in amongst it. But sometimes we need to be adults, and sometimes we just need to not be in the escapism. So I love that about those. Two, I remembered this, of course, as you were talking about like the Princess Sparkle experience and whatnot. Disney has upped their game so incredibly on their dining options. And I'm not talking about like the park options. I'm talking about the experience options. Now, granted, you're going to pay a fortune for them. But if you want that memorable experience that your kid is probably going to remember, at least in photographs, if maybe too young to otherwise remember. But just about every single one of the Disney hotels, I think at least 3 of the 4 parks have some sort of experience where you can go in, you pay a flat fee, you get the buffet, and the characters come to your table and you get pictures with them and they interact with your kids. And, I even had one, I think it was as at Tusker House at Animal Kingdom, where Donald was interacting with 2 young girls, showing my age because they were actually probably like in their early 20s. But but he started to pretend to flirt with him, and Daisy was right behind him, and Daisy starts to berate him, and they did this whole she's getting mad at him, and he's like, no, I'd never cheat on you, Daisy, kind of thing. And it was it's obviously something that they've rehearsed a couple of times, but it was great. And the 2 women who were sitting there were having a great time with that, and it was all just part of this Tusker House experience. And so that's still there. If that is something you want for yourself or for your kids or whatever, there are plenty of options. And I'd strongly encourage, if you've got the budget for it, to do one of them some point, just because it's such a unique experience. And there are characters at those that at some of them, not all of them, that you can't see anywhere else. So.
Yes, I think in some ways with that, it makes sense that they've taken them more away from downtown or from Disney Springs, taken them into the park, so people have had to pay to get in there, or they're actually at the hotel, so that turns them into I know our friends, they went down to one of the resorts and did that. Whereas, like, I know at Disney Village in Paris, they had set Chef Mickey's, and you could walk by and you could see all the characters running around in there. But they removed them because I think they were like, no, we should be doing this in the park. We don't want people going there, seeing Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and not paying to get in the park. So it makes sense why they've done that. But it definitely, as I said, just as a final thing, really, if it might have lost the Disney glow, but I think it's finding its own niche in another way. But we'd love to know what you guys think. Let us know in the comments below or on social media. Love to know what you guys are always thinking about. We'd always love the feedback. You can go check us out over at DisKingdom.com. You could subscribe on YouTube. You can also listen to us on all the different audio platforms. James, where can they find you?
Find me heroiclegacy.com.
And on that note, guys, thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back soon. Later.